like the drums, girls? Welcome to MOCA Create at Home! My name is Taylor and I'm an educator at MOCA, and this is Roux, my very sleepy cat. And if you are joining us for the first time, welcome, and if you have been with us before, welcome back. During MOCA Create at Home, we learn all about MOCA, what we document and share, and we make some art together using supplies that you already have at home. This week is MOCA's virtual Dragon Boat Festival, and to celebrate, we will be making our very own drums and learning a little bit about the important role that drums play in the festival. During the Dragon Boat Festival, long boats with many rowers race each other. Dragon boats are different in different parts of China and the world, but usually they are 20 to 35 meters long. That's 65 to 120 feet. Or about 150 roux! A standard race is 500 meters. That's a long way to paddle. Depending on the length of the boat, at least 20 people are needed to paddle. There's also someone called a sweep who sits in the back. This person uses an oar stuck in the water slightly off of the center of the back of the boat to help steer and change direction. Finally, one very important person sits up front on a raised seat facing the rowers and banging out a beat on a drum. This person is very important because they play a beat that sets a pace for rowers to paddle to. The drummer also helps with drills and playing in unison during practices. Usually, you want a drummer to be small and loud, someone who can help keep up energy and team spirit but won't weigh down the boat. The beat of the drum is also said to represent the heartbeat of the dragon. Today, we are going to make our very own dragon boat drums and maybe even try out a few different types of drums to see what works best for us. Here are some supplies you might want to use. I gave you a lot of options for supplies today because there are just so many ways that you can make a drum. I'm going to walk you through a couple of the different types that I made, but if you think of another way to do it, feel free to go ahead and test it out. The first way that I made a drum is with just a small Tupperware container, a clear plastic one, and some clear tape. I just did several layers of clear tape across my container. I did it in several different directions. And then I just covered it with some orange paper, some colorful rubber bands that I had, and I put a nice blue circle on the bottom to sort of finish it up. I also made one with this decorative box. For this one, I wanted to keep the box, so I didn't want to just put tape directly on it. So instead what I did was I added a few layers of saran wrap or cling wrap, and then put some rubber bands. And then over the top of all of that, I added a few layers of packing tape, clear tape, just to make my drum head, or the part of the drum that you hit, just to make that drum head a little bit tighter. The more layers that you add to your drum head, the tighter it's going to get, and the tighter the drum head, the higher the sound. So for example, I have another type of drum I could make with just a can and some clear plastic wrap, some cling wrap. I only have one layer of cling wrap on it right now. Let's see what that sounds like. It's pretty quiet. I'm gonna add 2 more layers. I think I can double this one up. All right, so that's 2 more layers. Gonna double up this to make 2 more. Now let's listen to it. Ooh. When you are making your own drum, you should think about, how do these sound similar or different? Why do you think they sound similar or different? How does the size of your container affect the sound that you get? Now we can make a mallet. ones that I made are just with chopsticks, and then I took, again, some of these different colored rubber bands that I have and wrapped them on the end of my mallet. I think they work pretty well. Did you try more than one mallet or a drumstick? Do they all sound the same? Which one do you like best? Next, it's time to decorate! I showed you these materials that I used, but there are so many different options that you have for decorating. Typically, dragon boat drums are black, red, or wooden. They have rounded studs, not spiky studs, around the top. There's a rope or a band of color around the middle or the bottom. And the drums often have scales or a polka dot pattern, maybe flowers or Chinese characters decorating the sides. For this one, I decorated it a little bit more like a traditional standard dragon boat drum. So I added studs, the round studs along the top. They usually have a rope around the bottom or the middle. I also added these little rings because sometimes they have rings where you can hold them or strap them onto the boat. And I added some of these flower decorations that you see on some of the boats as well. Finally, once your drums are all decorated and dry, you are ready to play with them. Maybe you can get your friends or family or even your stuffed animals and toys to practice rowing along to your beat. Thank you so much for joining me and Roux and Gravy for MOCA Create at Home. We had a great time learning all about dragon boats and the importance of drums. We'd love to see and hear literally what you created. How big is your drum? Does it sound high or low? How did you decorate it? Will you use it for a race? Try creating slow, medium, or fast beats to paddle to. Thanks again, and don't forget that you can head to mocanyc.org for other Dragon Boat Festival activities and downloads. Bye!